The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the April 14th, the magical Monday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Hey, let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. Now, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating, excuse me, to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But even more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to send me an email. Send it off to steve@tfnn.com. Inside the subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tiger's Den, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on Magical Monday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Well, we begin our day with a sea of green out there. All the sectors inside the S&P 500 trading the upside. All the U.S. indices we track trading the upside as well. Dow's up 394 points. S&P 67. NASDAQ 100, 239. Russell's up 18. Trendy's up 184. Semi's up 52. NASDAQ Composite 220 and the New York Stock Exchange 230. To the downside is gold. It's off $20 with silver being up 10 cents. Light sweet crude now down 21 pennies. Natural gas is off 5 cents. 30-year Treasury up 25 ticks, print out 113.31. Our leaders in the clubhouse to the upside, led by Mercado Libre up $31, nearly 2%. Webull Corporation $29, 229%. Netflix $21, 2%. Eli Lilly $19, 2.5%. Costco $18, nearly 2% there. To the downside, our movers and shakers, our new Tex Health down $12, 9%. United Health $12, 2%. Humana down $8, 2.5%. DaVita down $6. That's nearly 4%. And Murphy USA down $5.60, a little over 1% to the downside. So we got movers and we've got shakers. Of course, I want to look at what you want to look at. Let's begin by taking a look at what? Let's look at the positive market breadth. New York Stock Exchange advanced decline oscillator will be up momentarily. We've gone from that extreme oversold condition that was on the day of April 8th. We got into a slightly oversold condition back on the 10th, and now we are back up. Now we are above zero. If we remain above zero today and close above zero tomorrow, that provides buyers with the edge in the markets out there. What's needed to go along with that, though, is the spot VIX index. We'll just move over to the VIX index charts out here. On the spot VIX, it is trading lower. It is trading below Friday's low, so that's a good thing from a bullish standpoint of the equity futures, but what we really need to see is price get below that 50-day X-minutes moving average. It's got a ways to go. We're at 31.49. The 50-day is at 25.10. Now, you can see the current spot VIX, April is at 30.35. No forward future contract is traded above that. So we are still in contango. Short term, intermediate term, long term out there. And therefore, we have not gotten a bottom signal from that set of tools out there. What else do we want to take a look at out here? Let's take a look at gold. How's gold doing in major currencies this morning? Let's see. No new highs. No new highs anywhere. I take that back. The Chinese yuan ticked to just a slighter higher high today, but nothing else when we take a look at the other currencies out there. Let's take a look at the Middle Eastern currencies with regard to Goldilocks. They each some of them making new all-time highs, some of them not. They did make each of them made new all-time highs on Friday. If we take a look at gold here and take a look at primary trading ranges. We'll take a look at the monthly time frame chart. As we mentioned, you can see gold is now this rising price channel. The bottom one is the one that was drawn in. Once you have the bottom, or once you have a rising price channel, then you're going to remain with that same price distance. And that's all I've done here. That's what that third line is, where price ran up into resistance. Pretty incredible, huh? So we know that price is sitting up at a potential resistance level. Now, what we'd be looking for on the daily time frame is some type of bearish reversal candle to go ahead and confirm a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top out there. One thing at a time. Is there anything else out here worth showing you? And I don't know the answer to that question. Well, one last... I guess there's always a question, has the market bottomed? And I don't have that chart up. What I was going to do, and I can do it back probably this way. So if you give me a moment, what I was going to do is take a look at the cues with you. Well, you know what I know. Do I have volume on here? I do. So I'm going to open up the cues. What we know, and it's kind of a it's a nice phenomena out here. That is the following, and that is that the cues make bottoms with volume out here. So if we take a look at the, where's my cursor? There we go. So if we take a look at the low came in on April 7th. So that was last Monday in the Qs. And the volume on that trade was 161 million shares. We got to go back quite a ways before we get to that level of volume out there. Let's see if this thing will pick it up. Probably back into the 2020 COVID crash time period out there. Here's another bottom that we can take a look at. There's a bottom that formed out here in the Qs, and this was back on August 5th, 2024. Volume there, 87 million shares out there. So don't forget, this is an anomaly, not an anomaly. It's just simply the way this has been going on for decades. You go back and you take a look at bottoms inside the Qs, you're going to see that they're always made with volume. And no, they don't always have to be tested. In this case here, the low was never tested, but the high of that candlestick most certainly was. So there's another bottom signal for you. Of course, what we're really waiting on is for the spot VIX index to get its mojo back to the downside and close below its 50-day exponential moving average. And again, that number right now is 2510. So I don't think there's anything else on my black set of charts out here. I won't close them down in case we need to come back. But let's go to our first requests out here. First request coming in from Peak G inside the Tiger's Den, and Peak is looking for TD9 counts inside of Bitcoin. I've got the April contract. I believe we roll over into May here shortly. On the April contract for the weekly time frame, and I'll go ahead and put up May. The weekly, what I should probably do is put up the continuous contract. But here on a weekly basis, you're going to see that this is going to go ahead. It formed a TD9 count bottom pattern last week on Friday. It completes that pattern this week. That suggests that price should rally up towards resistance. Resistance here would be 93,178. If you look at the daily time frame for the April contract, that has a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. That was on the 9th. That was last Wednesday. That generated that bull sash candle. Price inside a bullish structured profile should make its way to 91.75. No TD9 counts other than that nice weekly TD9 count bottom pattern out there. Let me just make sure. BTC pound sign. And this will take, tell you what, that's going to take place while we're going to a breakout here. So we come back, we'll finish looking at Bitcoin, then we'll do the same for gold, silver, Coinbase out there. Of course, I'd love to hear from you. Steve at TFNN.com. Inside that subject, please put radio show question. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the Opening Call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. I did put up the continuous contract here for Bitcoin. You can see it does generate the same TD9 count bottom for its weekly time frame out there. So the only thing really holding it out right now, the issue that it's got, what you're really looking for here, Peak, is you're looking for the monthly chart to get back above its green oscillator and change line. And that number out there is at 85,572-ish. The 72-ish will probably go up to 82, 92, something like that. But if price can close above, start trading above that green oscillator and change line, that's when you'll see the daily and the weekly time frame rally, but not until that unfolds out there. So I hope that helps out with regard to Bitcoin. If we take a look at the gold contract, GC, we're in the June contract out here. We'll get enough daily and weekly data, uncertain about the monthly time frame. So with regard to TD9 counts on the daily time frame, nothing to be concerned with. What took place on Friday was price negated a sell the D point pattern. Price closed above the top of its profile. The top of its profile is at 3,120. Top of its profile is 3201.60 on the daily time frame. The 3,120 is coming from the weekly time frame. The weekly time frame also negated Rhodes Momentum Indicator top last week. It needs a new bearish reversal candle to generate the same, and that would be also for the daily time frame. Now, on a monthly time frame, this is where it suggests caution, and that is that you're going to complete a TD9 count pattern on a monthly basis for June at the end of this month. Let's take a look at silver. Silver, we are in the May contract out here. So let's get that up on our screen, see what kind of signals we've got here. Now, silver is trading, I believe, inside its daily profile. Unlike the gold contract, which closed above the top of its daily profile on Friday. Actually, on the daily time frame, silver is taking on the top of its daily profile. So the number that you're watching for there is at 32.13. If price can close above that, we're at 32.13 right now. If we get 2 consecutive closes above that, that would be a positive. That would also be a profile change in trend signal on a daily time frame for silver. That would suggest a further rally. Now, that further rally may only take us up to the top of the weekly profile, which is at 32.68 out there. On a positive note, on the monthly time frame for May, price pulled all the way back to the bottom of its monthly profile, 27.67, and found support. So no damage done even on that move lower last week, 2 weeks ago. inside of silver. So that's what's going on there. And then lastly, you wanted to take a look at Coinbase. COIN is the ticker symbol. So let's go see what we've got here in Coinbase. And just to give this a moment here to populate, you've got a nice Rhodes Momentum and TD9 count bottom peak for the daily time frame. Price right now is taking on profile resistance that if you can close above, it being 180.88. If price can close above 180.88, then you should be off to the 195.33 level. That would be its TD9 count breakdown level. When you form a TD9 count, the nice thing about it, it can identify if it's in the proper format, a top or a bottom, and it also then gives you a breakout area and a breakdown level out there. On the weekly time frame, Coinbase will complete a TD9 count bottom. So you got a TD9 count bottom for the daily, you got a TD9 count bottom for the weekly. What that suggests, now that pattern will complete this week, that suggests that price should rally towards its oscillator and change line. That is currently printing at 213.29. And finally, on a monthly time frame, the monthly time frame pushed back, found support at the bottom of its profile, 166.48. Although there's not a bottom pattern, getting back to support and holding it can in fact be a bottom. So it does look to me like Coinbase wants to rally further, but you've got to clear that 180.88 level. So peak G. Didn't see any peak G's out here, or trough G's. Well, I guess I can take, yeah, now we won't even go there. But I hope that helps you out with regard to gold, silver, Coinbase, and Bitcoin out there. And as always, thanks so much for your requests. Any other requests out here? I believe there are. Just give me a moment. I think Duncan might be the next one up. I believe he is. And Duncan wants to take a look at SOXL. So let's get up XOXL. See what we've got here. Is this a triple for the SOX, Dunk? I don't know if it is or it isn't, but I can tell you that SOXL's got a nice TD9 count bottom pattern for its daily time frame. The weekly time frame does not have a, I apologize, whoops, take that back. The weekly time frame does have a TD9 count bottom. It was tested and rejected last week. And on a monthly time frame, prices pulled back to a TD9 count bottom swing point area. That was from October of 2022. 3 billion shares traded that month. This month, we are at 4.3 billion shares. So we're testing that swing point with volume. If price is able to close above the high, 1192, we're at 1066 right now. If we close above it at month's end, that should suggest that at least that high gets tested again. If we close inside that swing point on a monthly basis, that increases the odds of a move to test the support or the bottom of that profile, or the bottom of that TD9 count, bottom of that swing point, which will be down at $6.21. But you do have a bottom on the daily. You do have a bottom on the weekly. Now, in the case of the daily time frame, its next upside price target is $12.41. On a weekly basis, its price target to the upside is $16.24. Of course, that can't come into play until price closes above the top of its daily profile for 2 consecutive sessions out there. So, Dunk, I hope that helps you out with that. You're looking for also some information on Starbucks, SBUX. So let's get that up on our screen here. Again, it takes about 10 seconds or so to populate. And this has kind of been working out. This is the second day I've used the same kind of system to host the show and utilize it both by black and white background screens out there. So that's a beautiful thing. Now, with regard to Starbucks has a by the D point bottom pattern that formed about 4 trading sessions ago. It closed above the top of its profile. That looked pretty good. But the beauty of the tools that we use, we also have that device, that tool called the oscillator unchanged line. And it's amazing how well that acts as a key level of support or resistance. In this case here, it acted as resistance. So as good as it looked 4 days ago, it didn't accomplish one of the more important things, which was closing above that oscillator unchanged line. The same holds true for this morning. Starbucks gaps up, so to speak, and runs right up where? Into that oscillator and change line. So there's one thing that we know with regard to Starbucks, Dunk, and that is that unless you get a close above that OUL, right now printing it at about 86.10, if price were to rally, it's going to be more than 86.10 out there, then you're likely to head higher. Now, on the weekly time frame, Starbucks does not have any kind of a bottom signal. Price remains below its oscillator and change line, below profile support. So if the daily chart is unable to give us that breakout level, that's going to suggest that, in fact, we could get down to the 72.72 level. That's its weekly breakout area. If we look at the monthly time frame chart, price has just simply found support at its breakout area, 81.67. So that would be an important price point to watch at month end. Not so much now. But if we do close below that, now there's additional support. So if price were to close below 81.67, good question, I know somebody asked, the next level of support will be 79.70, and below that would be 74.27. So a nice, beautiful daily bottom, but boy, price just can't handle that oscillator and change line. So that's what we see when we take a look at Starbucks. Thanks so much for your request there, Duncan. Let's see, what else do we have out here? Much appreciated, Steve. Okay, so nothing that I see inside the Tigers. Whoop, I take that back. I see another message possibly. No, that wasn't okay. Hey, I tell you what, I sort of hear the music. But we're going to a break right now, and I'll see you as soon as we get back.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
This year has already been a wild ride for the market. We started off heavily in the red, traversed back to all-time highs, and we now have a trade war looming. Trying to play this chop as an individual trader leads to death by 1,000 cuts. Where does this market go next? Should I add to this position or cut my losses? Where is the next opportunity? Tariffs, trade wars, analysis paralysis. Don't become a victim of this intense market. Instead, join Larry Pesavento for the second and fourth Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading. Larry has been through many markets just like this one, and the insight he provides is invaluable. The dates for this month are April 11th and 25th, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. Get in here and let's start trading. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Trader's Edge is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. Before we go on to a couple of the requests out there, I thought what I would do is share with you from an intraday standpoint with regard to the equity future contracts, what you're watching for. It's all coming from the 4-hour time frame chart. What I mean by that is that the ES, the NQ, and the Dow each have confirmed TD9 count tops. Now, the pattern will complete at 2 p.m. So far, it is the high of bar number 9 in each of these patterns that is holding out there. Now, what price should do, in the case, let's take a look at the NQ first. The NQ, I'm going to go ahead and open this up on my screen out here, formed a new profile just as we came into that 10 a.m. session out there. So here, with regard to the NQ, price is testing the first level of support. And the first level of support is the top of its profile. This profile formed below price. That's normally a bullish message out there. 18,960 is the top of that profile. If we get price staying trading below 18,960, it ought to make a move to its oscillator and change line. 18,821-ish. If price tests and rejects that level, that would be a bullish outcome. It still needs to close above the top of its TD9 count pattern in order to say that it wants to get up to the 20,044 level. If price doesn't find support there, you would have support potentially at 18,763, 18,368, and finally 18,260. So TD9 count patterns inside of the NQ out there that can affect both whether it's going to rally more by closing above the high of the pattern. By the way, now the high of the pattern at this point in time is at 19,256, but we could rally further and set up that bar following bar number 9 that sets up the TD9 count pattern. In the case of the ES Mini, the areas of support are at the 53.97 level. That's the center of its profile, approximately close to the oscillator and change line, but that would move a little bit lower. 53.83 is that number out there. If price were to trade below that, the next area of support would be between 52.4450 and 52.65.95. 52.66 is what we would call it. In the case of the Dow Equity Future contract, its level of support is right at the 42.88 level. Below that, it'd be at 39.400. In the case of the Russell 2000, we do not have any kind of a topping signal on it. So I just thought I would share with you what I believe are probably the most important time frame charts for you to pay attention to from an intraday standpoint out there. Now let's go back to some of those other requests that have come in. I'm just going to close this one down, the 240, just free up some resources here. It's not going to get us back to exactly where I wanted it to go, but we'll move off of that here momentarily. This is showing you all of the cash indices, which we can come back and take a look at that. But in the meantime, we do have a few requests. One coming in from S&P inside the Tiger's Den who wanted to take a look at Tesla. Tesla on the daily time frame has got a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. Price right now is pulling back and testing potential support. That would be the top of its profile. And that's at the 250.11 area. If price closes below that, you could see move back to its buy zone between 229.24 and 236.19. On a monthly time frame, you've got a TD9 count bottom with price traded with inside its profile. Therefore, you have support at 234.72, resistance 270.11. We can see that 270.11 area has been tested for 3 consecutive weeks. That is a strong resistance level when it comes to the end of the day. Remember, the body of the candle is truly the essence of price. The wicks, the upper and lower wicks out there, from a candlestick standpoint, are nothing more than the screaming memes out there. If we take a look at the monthly time frame for Tesla, the screaming meme found support in its buy zone. That's between the 212.65 and 243.31. So you got a bottom signal on the monthly time frame, a bottom pattern on the weekly, a bottom pattern on the daily time frame. Just price struggling to take on resistance. That first level being that really should be an issue for the daily time frame, because we saw price close above the top of its daily profile at 250.11 for 3 consecutive sessions. Maybe today is going to be the 4th one. So that's what we see when we take a look at Tesla. S&P also wanted to look at UVIX. So let's put that up here. I'm assuming this has something to do with the VIX, but what? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Not necessarily, but if I were to take a look at UVIX, this has a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. Price is trading below its oscillator and change line. It's trading into a profile level of support at 54.02. If price were to close below 54.02, you would get down to 39.41. On a weekly time frame, a TD9 count top is likely to form. All that needs to happen on a weekly basis is price closing above 33.36 out there. And on a monthly time frame spiked right up into TD9 89 count breakdown resistance at 90.38. So S&P, I hope that provided you with the information you were looking for both Tesla and UVIX. And as always, thank you for your request. Joe is looking for a long entry inside of NVIDIA. I believe that was last week out there, Joe, but let's go take a look at what NVIDIA is doing. I believe it's testing resistance. It is. That's at the top of its profile, 112.87. So right now on a daily time frame, NVIDIA is trading into the zone where, we'd say fasten your seatbelts, because it's a sell zone, which began at 105 and runs up to the 112.87 level. This morning, we gapped up above 112.87. We're back below it. So where would a buy be on this? If price could pull back all the way to that oscillator and change line, center of its profile, 105, that could be an area. What you'd want to be looking for there is some type of intraday bottoming pattern out there. The weekly time frame, so the daily's got to see, if I didn't mention it to you, and I should have, the daily has a TD9 count bottom, a solid TD9 count bottom. The weekly has a solid buy the D point bottom, formed a nice bullish engulfing candle last Friday, and price was also testing a prior swing low. The prior swing low was August of 2024, August 9th specifically. Volume 2 billion shares out there. Now, that was tested with 2.4 billion shares, so a bit higher volume. So what that says is that NVIDIA doesn't have to go test the low. Maybe it's just going to test the high of that swing point, the one from August 9th in 2024 out there, and that high is at 108.80. Maybe that's what's going on. Price is going to get back there. Uncertain. But on a daily time frame, you got a bottom. I know you're looking for an entry. You've got to let price pull back out there. I gave you the first area, but you want to look at a 30-minute time frame chart to see if things hold. And finally, when we take a look at NVIDIA, price appears to have found support at the bottom of its monthly profile, 109.42. We won't really know until the end of the month out there. The next request is to take a look at Harmony Gold. HMY is a ticker symbol. This is for Sharky inside the Tiger's Den. And we take a look at Harmony. The question specifically is, will it get back to the $19 area and form new all-time highs? So how are we going to answer that question? The first way that we're going to answer that question is look for what's going on the longer-term basis. And we take a look at a longer-term chart out here. I do not see any kind of a topping signal. That wave number 7 letter, let's pull this back here. Where's that coming from? Yeah, nope. So it's really just potentially leg A up on a monthly time frame. So strong there. Weekly time frame. It has a Rhodes momentum indicator signal that's triggered. That just simply needs a bearish reversal candle to generate a topping pattern out there. The daily time frame would be the same thing. So you do not have a top. So price could or should continue to move higher. But remember, this is called Harmony Gold. We took a look at gold in the beginning of the hour, and we looked at on that larger term time frame how price is running up into a resistance level out there. And on a monthly basis, we've got a TD9 count top that's going to unfold. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. You know, I start the show and I have that belief philosophy that everything in life is happening for us, not to us, right? It gives us the opportunity to find the gift in every set of circumstance. I like to just share with you every now and then, and these things are happening all the time, but kind of a cool thing unfolded about 2 weeks ago. A friend of mine is a professor at FAU in the art department, and he was giving a talk about art taking shape. And he was specifically talking about this picture that I've got up here on my screen. If you're watching this on Tiger TV, it's from Alfred Moorer, I believe is the artist out there. It's called The Woman in a Red Hat. So I've got that up on my screen out here. So the interesting thing is he gave this speech. And he's done. You know, different people were coming up to him and so forth. And the guy taps him on the shoulder and says, "I actually own that, the original," which was pretty cool. A local guy here, art collector, just a few miles really down the street from where we live. And so Roger, he was able to go out there and actually, so how about that? He had no idea who actually owned this thing and gave a talk on it, gets a tap on the shoulder. And the next thing you know, he's actually looking at the real deal. So that was pretty cool. I think for those of you that are golfers out there, I think if you take a look at what transpired with Rory McIlroy, you know, missing that first putt and everything, you know, and was able to, everything was happening for him. It may not have seemed like it at that time, but, you know, it certainly was. He got that second shot at that 125-yard wedge shot. I mean, for him, I don't even know that that's a gap wedge. I don't think that's even, I mean, it's something even less than that. And but that's a shot that he should be able to get within 10 feet almost 95% of the time, which he did on that second opportunity. So everything in life, folks, so even though you might get knocked down, you know, use Rory as an example out there, or of course the cool thing about the Masters tournament is it's the one time where we get to see these guys make all kinds of errors that we make when we play golf all the time out there. So it just shows that everybody's human. In any event, let's get back to the markets out here. Mohammed writes in, he wants to take a look at Broadcom. AVGO is the ticker symbol. Broadcom on a daily time frame has a buy the D point bottom pattern. On a weekly time frame, it went ahead and confirmed a TD9 count bottom pattern last week. It'll complete that pattern this week. It's trading with inside its profile. It has support on a weekly basis at 166.33. The center's at 185.15, which is proven to be a resistance area. And then if price can clear that 185.15, we ought to see a move up to the 186.42, 190.53 levels. So that's what I see when I take a look at Avgo. Bullish on the daily, bullish on the weekly. And on the monthly time frame chart, price found support at profile support. So we're going to go with bullish on the monthly time frame as well. Yes, Dan, I thought the interview by Justin Rose, he is truly a class act guy. How cool was it that he shot that key round on the opening day out there? Played so-so on Friday, right? I think he might have been even par. Maybe he lost a stroke on Friday. Saturday was basically a horrible round, and then comes back and turns in just a great round on the back nine at Augusta for a tie out there. So I didn't see the post game. I saw the interview with what's her name, Amanda. I think I don't know if he gave another interview or not. But we actually had a concert to go to not too long after the Masters tournament was over, which was nice. Jeff Cashua, a band called it wasn't his band. He was sitting in, which was really cool. My wife and I, we sit down, we both look at each other, and we say, that sure looks like Jeff Cashua up there. But that was not who we went to see out there. We went to see, what's the name of that band? It was 480 East out there. Cool band, for sure. Interesting. They're from Canada, and one of the two members couldn't get in because of visa issues out there. I don't know if it's because of what's currently going on, administrative-wise or what have you, but that was kind of like a bummer. Anyway, so let me see if there's any other. I've kind of been stalling here because I don't see any other requests. Let me just check my email, see if anything has come in there. I don't think so. No. So what we're going to do here, unless I get a request inside the Tiger's Den, is we'll go take a look at the cash indices out here. So let's just surf around a little bit, see what Stevie's charts have to tell us. Here are the daily cash indices. The daily cash indices, each of them have bottom patterns. In the case of the Dow, it's a buy the D point. The same for the S&P, same for the NASDAQ 100, same for the Russell 2000. TD9 count bottom for the semis out there. The transports have by the D point bottom as well. So does the composite, and the New York Stock Exchange has a buy the D point pattern also. Now, so they've all got bottoms, no question about that. In the case of the Dow, price could be pulling back to test support at 39,805. The S&P cash 5301, Nasdaq 100 18,304. The Russell sitting right on that level of support. Those levels that we're giving you, by the way, are their daily oscillator and change line. 3903, for example, for the SOX. The transports not much lower than where we're at, but still a little bit lower, down at the 13,425 level. Nasdaq composite would be about 16,356 and 18,265 is the number on the New York Stock Exchange out there. If we take a look at, let's come back here. Let's go to the day trading charts out there. I mentioned that the 240-minute time frame chart, we took a look at the ES, the NQ, and the YM. As I mentioned to you, those were the charts to be paying attention to because they were giving us consistent topping patterns out there. Now, when we take a look at what's going on, intraday, short-term basis, what I see is a 30-minute TD9 count, Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. Price right now is trading below its breakout level at 54.25. Now, I don't know if the other 30-minute time frame charts have that same pattern or not, but what we're going to do is we're going to find out. So if you give me a moment here to pull down, and I think these should populate on this screen here that's in front of us. If not, I've got to pull them over from a different screen. And we should have the 30-minute charts, for all four. It's just going to be a quick way for us to see if we have a consistent pattern for one time frame out there, and that would make it easier for us to follow along and to try to identify whether or not there's any kind of where is price headed to. So I do see the Rhodes Momentum Indicator top on the Dow. Here, price is just trading below profile support. So in the case of the YM, its price target, as long as price remains below 45.95, would be 40.034 out there. If we take a look at the June contract here for the ES Mini, if price fails to hold 54.25, which we're trading below right now, that could actually say 52.59 for us. In the case of the NQ, which has a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top as well, that's suggesting price could run all the way back to 18,322 out there. The Russell 2000 trading below profile support as well. Its next area of support is 1823. Let's go back now to that ES mini chart. Let's see if there's some other level of support other than 52.59 that becomes a potential price target on a move lower out here. So if you give me a moment, we'll pull up those day trading screens out here and we'll continue to look. 60-minute as price traded below its breakout level, 52.51 is the 2-hour time frame chart level of support that price could be targeting. On the 4-hour time frame chart, since that's the TD9 count top, we're going to take that one step at a time. What's that next step? That next step is the center of its profile, which is at 53.97. So watch 53.97. If price close below that, what you're watching for is the oscillator and change line, 53.78. If price close below that, then we're off to that 52.51, 52.44 area. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey. Because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back up, folks. So I was looking for other areas of support here. Intraday, the Apogee pivot point did come into play last night. That arrived at 6:45, if I'm not mistaken. And that's been marked by these blue lines on my screen out here. We can see that the ES Mini is testing that level of support. It's about 54.13. I don't have the exact amount, but right around 54.13 is that number for the ES Mini. The NQ closed below it on that last 30-minute trading session, is trading below that. The question is, does that 18,953 area act as resistance on any rally? The Dow is testing its Apogee pivot point out here, right around the 44.69 area. The Russell is trading below it. If it closes below it on a 30-minute basis, which it should do, next 5 minutes. The question is, watch that 1871 level. Does price rally up to that and then negate and then turn back down? If it does, that would be a bearish, short-term bearish signal out there. trading below apogee pivot point for gold, for silver, for light sweet crude, and for natural gas. As we speak, natural gas is testing a key 30-minute level of support. That's its TD9 count to breakout area. We did have a request that came in from Rye inside the Tiger's Den, and that's to take a look at ticker symbol DSVSF out there. And so we take a look at this. It's a bullish as can be out here. So you're trading above profile resistance for the daily, weekly, and monthly time frame. You're trading above the green oscillator and change line for the daily, weekly, and monthly time frame. That suggests this wants to rally. Now, the only caution sign is the caution is just a caution sign. Doesn't mean change anything, unless there would be a bearish reversal candle that formed at week's end for the weekly time frame. That would then confirm a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top out there. But other than that, DSVSF looks pretty good out there. In fact, looks like you've got quite a large A to B equals CD pattern. The B point of the swing was on March 28th, 529,000 shares traded hands. On Friday, 1.7 million shares crossed that. So you've got confirmed AB equals CD to the upside in DSVSF. Folks, thanks so much for being here today. Always great to join you between 11 and 12. Stay tuned for all the great programming. I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow on Terrific Tuesday, 11 a.m. sharp. Have a magical Monday and be safe out there. Take care.